Okay, so we're going to talk about the 8 different methods of brushing. We're going to start with the Bass method, circular brushing. Purposes and indications is to remove biofilm beneath the gingival margin as well as areas adjacent to. For open embrasures, exposed root surfaces, and it can be used for cervical areas beneath the height of contour of the enamel. Okay, and some limitations are that a vigorous scrub can cause injury to the gingival margin, and the 45-degree angle can be difficult to visualize. Okay, so I will show you. All right, so we direct it 45 degrees in to the sulcus, just back and forth like this. I'll show on the bottom as well. Okay. The rolling stroke method, the purposes and indication is without emphasis on gingival sulcus, and it's meant for children with relatively healthy gingiva. The procedure is to direct the filaments apically and to flex the filaments and roll the brush slowly over the teeth. Limitations are that brushing too high during initial placement can lacerate the alveolar mucosa. When people use a quick sweeping stroke, it results in no brushing for the cervical third of the tooth because the brush tips pass over rather than into the area. Same with interproximal areas. So we will roll on it. Okay. Okay. Roll. The Stillman method massages and stimulates. The brush ends are placed partially on the gingiva and partly on the cervical areas, and the pressure is light. And you move in a rotary motion. The modified Stillman's method incorporates a rolling stroke after the vibratory phase. And it removes biofilm from the cervical areas and from exposed proximal surfaces. So it's great for cleaning tooth surfaces and massaging the gingiva. Limitations is the placement of a brush with end-rounded filaments can prevent tissue laceration. Okay, so let's do Stillman's. It's like this. And then modified Stillman's looks like this with a roll. The Charters method, purposes and indications, is that it massages and stimulates marginal and interdental gingiva. So it removes biofilm from proximal tooth surfaces when interproximal tissue is missing. And the procedure is that the bristles are directed towards the occlusal plane at a 45-degree angle. And so a limitation is that it doesn't engage the gingival sulcus to remove subgingival bacteria. The Fawn's circular method is simple for kids, and it's pretty quick. It is when the maxillary and the mandibular arch are together, they are occluding, and you go in a circular motion over both arches. A limitation is that they would brush their teeth for a shorter amount of time because it is quicker, and it is less effective in plaque removal. Okay, and then we have the Leonard vertical method, and this is vertical strokes in the maxillary and mandibular teeth, but the arches are brushed each on their own. This is good for overlapped teeth, but a limitation is that the soft tissue could be injured with excessive pressure. So, vertical. The horizontal method is a scrubbing motion that puts pressure on teeth that are most facially inclined or prominent, and this method can produce tooth abrasion. So this is the horizontal method. The occlusal brushing method, it loosens biofilm from the occlusal pits and fissures, but a precaution is that it may contact only the prominent parts of the cusps.